All right, welcome to this episode of Unfiltered. I've got my very good friends and co-hosts, Guy Nohra and Patrick Casale on board. Of course, I'm Steve Sanchez. And guys, it's been a minute since we were together last. I think we were just on, a couple days before Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't believe it. Christmas comes, New Year's comes, and then here we are, and it's like almost, it seems like it was a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. It's crazy how fast things. Is it just because we're getting older?
Speak for yourself. I'm only 29 and holding.
I think the world's moving fast. That's what's happening.
Hey, for the record, I just applied for Medicare.
Have you guys heard that theory on social media that said there was a reset that happened in 2012? Have you guys seen that? There was this reset that happened, and this is why time's going so quickly, because our mind is, I don't know the whole thing. You're kind of the life sciences guy, Guy. You probably know the better explanation, but you sit up late at night looking at these socials. It could freaking screw with your head a little bit.
No kidding. I think something has happened, but a lot is happening anyway, because that's the time we're on. I mean, we also have leadership that's moving everywhere and all the time. So that's why I think we're back 4 weeks, and gee,
we're the middle of January practically. I mean, here it's the 12th. We're in the middle of January, but let me ask you guys before we get started. Again, we're on a couple days before Christmas. And I hope everybody had a good Christmas, of course, but is it just me, or did you guys find that it just was even more expensive this year for Christmas presents and Christmas, or is it just me? Did you spend more? Did you overspend at Christmas this time, or was it worse for you last year?
Go ahead, Pat.
No, I think it was great. But then again, you're looking at somebody who Christmas shops when all the sales hit.
So you were Christmas shopping months ago?
No, I Christmas shopped the 2 days before Christmas in Houston, and then I waited and then after the Christmas, and I don't go Black Friday. That's crazy. And I went the following. When I got back from Texas with my kids down there, we went grocery. I went Christmas shopping when I got back to Las Vegas, and it was very reasonable.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
That's the smart way to shop. You know what we should do? We should have a big meal on Christmas Day, be with the family and loved ones, and on New Year's Eve, exchange presents a whole lot cheaper.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, gives you something to do New Year's Eve, because I don't do anything anyway.
Yeah, I stayed home for New Year's Eve. Did you guys just kind of kick around and?
Pretty much.
9:45. I was upstairs in my room.
Oh, I stay up until the ball drops. And look, I know it's woke, and I know they show wokeness and. Two men kissing on Dick Clark's Rockin' America or whatever. And I just try to ignore all of that, because I am a real traditionalist. I've been watching that ball drop with Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve since I was a kid. And I like to see that ball dropped. It seemed that they went real cheap on that ball. It's like the ball barely dropped, right? Did you guys see that?
Yes.
It just barely went down. And I'm like, okay, but I stay up. It's bad. It's bad mojo, man, to not stay up. And you know what else? A friend of mine, she's Cuban, and she said it's really important to have a glass of champagne or sparkling cider and eat a grape. Is that true, Guy? The Spanish think that eat a grape or something.
I know that they do that, and then the Catalan have their own the tradition. My thing is, my New Year's is Christmas. I don't even think about New Year's.
Yeah,
Christmas is when
Black
I do
Eyed
all
Peas,
my
no?
resolutions.
What you're saying is you guys were asleep.
No, I was in my room. I saw midnight hit. I was in my room, but I was upstairs. The next day I had beans. The Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, Black Eyed Peas.
Oh yeah.
That I did. My daughter brought them over.
Okay, there you go.
Oh no, it was but New Year's Eve, I'm too old. I was interested in football. I wasn't interested in partying.
Well, the grandkids were over. We did fireworks. Went out, and my oldest grandson, he's 12, so we were out there being little pyros.
Is it legal over there?
Oh yeah, in Arizona, sure, absolutely. Yeah, so we're out there doing the nice, and you can get the illegal ones too. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just saying, somehow they always end up in my pocket. I don't know how, but I do get a couple of the not so legal ones, like what do they call Producer Nate? The Roman candles or something,
right?
Yeah.
So we're not hearing.
So Nate Nate's the one who acquires, and you light him off.
Yeah, and I videotape it, and it's great.
There you go.
No comment.
Yeah, it's
I used to like the M80s.
Don't incriminate yourself.
I've got a son-in-law that knows how to get them. Let's just put it that way. I've got a son-in-law that has a brother that knows how to get those. And let's not forget, Phoenix is just literally 2.5 hours away from the border of Mexico.
See,
right?
You know a guy, Steve. You know a guy.
Hey, a guy
knows a guy that knows a guy, right?
Look, with a last name like Sanchez, it's not just about the tamales, baby. You know, I can go get those freaking bottle rockets and Roman candles and everything else too. So.
I remember as a kid going into Manhattan by bus to buy illegal fireworks.
Those were the days, right?
And then bring them back bring them back in Jersey. No, but you didn't have to worry about anybody searching your bags. That was the best. Those were the days.
Well, now you got Mayor Mamdani that would never allow that to happen.
I wouldn't visit New York City now for all the tea in China.
It's crazy. It's crazy how things are going.
Oh.
Well, so, look, let's, we talked about, obviously I thought things were more expensive personally this Christmas. I did, it was expensive last year with Biden in control. I think it was, still expensive. Yeah, there's deals and stuff, but I think overall, I think we spent probably the same, maybe a little more than last year. My wife loves Christmas and she does her thing with Christmas, but credit card bills are coming right now. People are starting to get their credit card statements from the overspending. And I don't put things on credit cards. If I can't buy it cash, I'm just not buying it. But a lot of people are dealing with credit card debt, guys, right? And they're just getting now their credit card statements from the overspending at Christmas. I bet they're thanking their lucky stars that Trump's in office, because next week he'll be celebrating 1 year as president, and he's called for a cap on interest rates on credit cards to 10% max. That's a huge win, right?
Oh, if he pulls that off, forget it. Gold prices were up, by the way. I did buy some jewelry. That was expensive.
Jewelry. Oh yeah, gold's $4,600 an ounce.
Yeah, I bought my wife a ring. I had to give up my left lung.
No lunches for a month.
Oh, my word.
No lunches at China Mama. Right.
I contemplated coming home, getting all my jewelry together. If I could get paid top dollar, I'd make a killing.
Oh yeah. People are buying. Yeah, fine.
No, but I think the other thing people are going to be looking forward to is no tax on tips begins.
Yeah.
Right. No tax on overtime, and a lot of people can work overtime to pay those credit card bills.
Did you guys hear that a couple of states are not going to do the no tax on tips? California, Minnesota, the usual. Yeah.
Can they
believe that? Can you believe that?
Can they buck the system, Guy? Can they do that? Or
it's federal law. It's like me saying I'm not paying, taxes. I mean, federal taxes. It doesn't work that way.
Well, California needs every penny they can get. They should be sitting there saying, you know what? No more tax on tips. We're just going to raise taxes in California because based on the recent budget they just passed, they got $3 billion, $300 billion deficit or something stupid.
Yeah,
deficit. I don't know what it was exactly.
Did you see the exits, the California exits over the last week?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
All of the Google guys, a whole bunch of billionaires are just getting out of town.
Yeah, they got.
Who's going to pay the taxes now, Guy?
No, they got to bounce. It's look. Don't get me wrong. I was born and raised in California, so I will tell you this: beautiful state, the resources, the oceans, the city, the deserts, the mountains, incredible. They have screwed it up. Gavin Newsom and prior to Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, and prior to Jerry Brown, the last term of Schwarzenegger just took California and ran into the ground. It is just not recognizable anymore. It's sad because I always thought one day I may go back in my older years. I have to say this, folks, because I'm the youngest on this podcast, being a Gen Xer, and you got the two baby boomers here. So, I was planning to go to Huntington Beach someday and put my toes in the sand. I could never go back there because I'll be honest with you. If I'm not living at the beach, you think I'm going to live in the inland in the squalor? Hell no. Hell no.
The question is, how do you feed yourself in California?
Yeah.
You have to steal to survive.
Yeah, it's true. It's god awful. I've got a friend that, many friends obviously and family there, but A good friend of mine's been in Huntington Beach there forever. But he bought, his beautiful home in the mid 90s, late 90s. So he's sitting pretty. He's not going anywhere. He's staying. His family, he's got kids that are now grown and married. He's got maybe one high schooler left in the house. He's not going anywhere, and I don't blame him. I mean, it's paradise there. I love Huntington Beach. It's a lot more conservative in Huntington Beach.
Well, it's two things. It's first of all, one party system. When you have one party running the whole state, that's never good, because there's no pushback. They do whatever they want, and it so happens that they're lunatics. The second thing is, it's a state where, honestly, Steve, I mean, to your point, as long as you don't have an income and you're rich, you can live there. Why not? And if you're very poor, you can live there because they don't tax you. So basically, they're squeezing in the middle again. That's why they're squeezed. But if you're rich and you want to live in Montecito, or you want to live in Huntington Beach or San Diego, go ahead, because you're not making an income, so you don't have to pay income taxes. You just live on your interest.
Yeah, you're paying capital gains tax, which is a lot less expensive for sure. Yeah, I love California.
If you sell a house, though.
I don't know if California will ever change. I don't. I know everybody. You got Steve Hilton, who used to be a Fox News host. He's running, and he seems to be the front runner that would challenge whoever the Dem's going to be. Obviously, Newsom can't run. Some are saying he's got a real good shot at it, and I'll be honest with you. I think California is going to stay in Democratic control. They must like it, because they had a chance to recall Newsom and they didn't.
Well, they cheat pretty good, California too.
They cheat very good.
I mean, if you look at, is it a coincidence that after the election day, the Republicans all stand a good chance? Then they look at how many votes they need, and then over the course of the next 3 weeks, because it takes them another 3 weeks to count the votes. Let's say there's 1 million votes come in, 995,000 votes are one way, and the other 50,000 are the other, which is mathematically impossible. But that always seems to be the way it works. Yeah. And in California, what happens? The Democrats win, and the state of California sinks further and further into the ocean.
Yeah, it's true. Too bad, too. I love the place, but like I said, it's unrecognized. When you go to San Diego and you go to Mission Beach and you see homeless tent city everywhere.
I think we should just look at them like the place, the policies you don't want to follow. And I think I'm very strong on this with regards to Nevada, because a lot of our Carson City Democrats have no clue. Yeah. And they want to copy what's going on over there. And I'm the opposite. They are the counter indicator. California has everything that they do we don't want to do in the state. Yeah. And we'll fight it.
Well, you lived in California forever too, Guy. I mean, so you were there 20, 30 years maybe before you bounced?
Yeah, it's 76 until 2000 and
you were there for a long time. Yeah. You saw the good times. And it's interesting, that when I was a kid, Jerry Brown was governor the first time around. And so, but isn't it interesting that Jerry Brown the first time around in the 70s was more of a centrist, so to speak. Yes, liberal, of course, because Democrats can't escape that, but more centrist. And then when he comes back and they bring him back the second time all those years later, this guy's totally to the left, and just I think was a big problem for California. I think he started the downward spiral, and then Newsom took it a step further, obviously.
It's obvious that Bernie Sanders' roots were a lot deeper than we gave him credit for, because you got to look at the Democratic Party. A good 30% of the Democratic Party is now socialist, communist.
Yeah, true.
And Jerry Brown seemed to buy into that. I mean, when you're looking at what's going on around this country, and in all honesty, it's only the beginning, and we're going to have to step up the game. I mean, we're going to have to. I hate to say we're going to have to fight back, but eventually that seems like that's where we're going. I mean, do we give them California and we take the rest of the country? I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. I mean, well, look, next week, like I said, Trump's going to be 1 year. So let's grade him. Let's give President Trump a grade from the domestic policy standpoint only. We're going to talk about foreign policy a little later. We'll give him a grade, and then we'll give him an overall. But just from, deportation and domestic policy right now, as we sit January of 2026, what grade do you give him? Pat, we'll start with you. What do you give President Trump?
I give him an A on the border, any deportations. I think he's done exactly what he promised he was going to do. With regard to the tariffs, I think it's still an A, but most of the people don't understand it. They don't understand the dollars and what's going on. But I think over the course, I just did an interview earlier today. I think within the next 6 months, we're going to start to see the dividends. I think the dividends are going to be quite sweet going into June, and then by the fall, when we have the elections for 26, I think the Democrats are in trouble. That's why I believe they're trying to do all this stuff with the courts. I give them an A.
Unless the Supreme Court comes in,
I wouldn't go an A. I mean, outside the United States.
Okay.
Inside the United States, I give them an A.
Oh, unless the Supreme Court comes in and reverses the tariffs. And Trump made mention on that today and said, look, if the Supreme Court comes in and reverses these tariffs, we're screwed. We're going to have financial disaster. We're going to have to pay back billions of dollars in tariff revenue. We're going to have to give back trillions of dollars of investment that, companies and countries wanted to place here. There could be a likelihood that the Supreme Court rules and says no tariffs, and Trump's finished. If that's,
I don't see that happening.
I hope not.
At very least, it's 5-4.
I hope not.
That's because of that partisan. I mean, our justice system is going to the tank also.
Yeah, sure.
I definitely don't see that happening. I really don't.
Okay, Guy, where are you at with the grading?
I'm a French grader, which means that, people never get A's, but, the best grade in France is like usually 13, 14 over 20. That means like you're number one in your class. But having said this, I've got to give an A because that's what I voted for on immigration. I voted for a closed border. I voted for most of the things that are in the big, beautiful bill I wanted. I voted for a cut in regulations, which they did. We don't realize these numbers, and I don't think that the administration talks enough about them. I think they've cut like thousands and thousands of regulations, okay? Yeah. I voted for drill, baby, drill, because look, in some places right now, the price of oil is down to $2 or some number like this. Nevada's
Texas was $1.99, Guy.
Yep. And so I voted for all of that. So to me, from my perspective, on a domestic basis, unbelievable. It's like I can't think of something I can criticize.
Yeah, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here, and so I've been pretty consistent with the grading, even talking about it on my own radio show. I would probably have to say I give him a B plus, and the reason I don't give him an A and I give him that B plus, a strong B plus, is absolutely everything you both said. I agree completely. We're seeing the domestic policies kick into place. In Phoenix, you can now put gas, even premium, for $3.69 a gallon. Now, of course, that's still high, but it's not the Biden era gas prices, and that's going to come down. So, if numbers are numbers based on what we did with Venezuela, we should probably see, at least for premium unleaded in Phoenix alone, going down to about $2.99 to $3.29 a gallon. That's a big deal. And then with, regular unleaded going, let's say $1.89 to, $1.99, that's a big deal. So for all the things you guys said, I agree completely. Deportations. Some people say it's not a good look. Yeah, I agree. It's not. And we'll talk about that here in a bit, but it needs to be done. I voted for it as well. Here's the problem I have, and Guy probably already knows what I'm going to say regarding this, and the reason I'm only giving him a B+. I don't like the friendly relationship with frickin' Qatar, and I don't like that we're putting a military base on our own military base with Qatari pilots and Qatar, and we're going to train pilots. I don't like it. I don't want to be friendly with these people that have not been very nice to America. I don't like it. I have a very big problem with it in that regard, and I think it's going to come back to bite us in the ass in a big way. So I have a real problem with that. He can make up for that if he does something with these Ayatollahs in Iran. We're going to talk about that because we got a quick break that we've got to jump to, but let's take the break. Let's take the break so we can get into the Middle East stuff, because I think we all agree that, economically speaking, domestically, with the deportations and with the money and the revenues, we're on the right track. It's just, for me, the Qatar thing and some other things. And then, of course, we'll talk about Iran here in a moment. But let's as Joe Biden used to say, let's put a lid on it for just a quick sec. But we're not going to take any naps. I'm going to talk about the sponsors of the show, and that is Neutronics Labs. They're out of Reno, Nevada, Gee's neck of the woods. Dr. Bruce Fong, medical director for Neutronics Labs, is nationally known because he sued Governor Sisolak during the pandemic and won when Governor Sisolak said in Nevada that he couldn't give or write prescriptions for hydrochloroquine. There you go. Yeah, it wasn't the ivermectin, it was that one. Sure.
Yeah.
So Bruce Fong has a lot of credibility when it comes to this stuff, but I've been taking this man edge. And here's the thing. I've lost 36 pounds. My A1C went from 9.3 to 5.8. I'm 36 pounds down. I had a lower testosterone because of being overweight, being a diabetic, getting older. I'm 56. This man's edge, I'm telling you, has helped my testosterone. It has helped me with the anti-aging, and I think it really has helped me level the blood sugar stuff because the formula is incredible. It has that deer antler velvet from New Zealand. It is excellent. Neutronics Labs. So here's what I want you to do. Go to neutronicslabs.com. When you order a bottle of Man's Edge, you're going to get a free bottle of the IGF-1 formula. It's an anti-age formula. You can give it to your spouse. You can take it yourself. My wife loves it. She's sleeping better. She's feeling great. This is good stuff. Here's the great news. If it doesn't work for you after 30 days, you keep the bottles. They give you 100% of your money back. 10 million bottles sold, 25 years. Roy Jones is an ambassador. He takes it. Frank Stallone, Mario Lopez, yours truly. And I'm telling you, when you're over 50, you don't want a flat tire in the bedroom, number one. I mean, we just don't, right, guys? We just don't. We don't want a flat tire.
And it's neutronicsedge.com?
It's neutronicslabs.com. And the Man's Edge, I'm telling you, is incredible. I won't stop taking it now because I know what it's doing for me. And I know we've got a lot of men watching this that are over 50 and they are embarrassed because low testosterone is an embarrassing thing. We don't like to talk about it. It does hurt our sex lives. Our spouse wants to have some action. Let's be real. We're still alive. We're still fogging up mirrors. And instead of having to go on pharmaceuticals or get injections, why not try something that's natural first? And if it can help you with anti-aging and losing weight and regulating blood sugar and all this other stuff, why not do it? It's working for me. I'm just saying you guys need to try that. Go to neutronicslabs.com. You'll see the link here. And then order a bottle, and I guarantee you in 30 days, you guys will be emailing me saying, Steve, thank you for the recommendation. All right, quick break. Guys, we're going to come back once we go to our sponsor, Neutronics Labs.
There's an IGF formula for anyone wanting to help enhance general wellness, increase athletic performance, or achieve bodybuilding goals naturally. Neutronics Labs has an extensive range of doctors on staff, led by leading expert in natural and homeopathic medicine, Dr. Bruce Fong. Fong is well known for his prestigious Sierra Medical Center in Reno, Nevada, that treats many celebrity patients, such as country singer Randy Travis and many others. Neutronics Labs clients include movie stars and high-profile professional athletes. Neutronics products have been utilized by many top nutritional companies worldwide, such as GNC, National Gym Association, Now Foods, SWATS, Longevity Plus, CalComp Nutrition, and many more. In a world where over-medication is quickly becoming the norm, IGF-1 is the natural way to promote overall health and vitality. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have discovered the benefits of deer antler velvet.
All right, back. And yeah, well, guys, when you were watching that commercial of Neutronics Labs out there, wow, the erection talk sure here behind the scenes went to a whole other level, right? But let's be real. I mean, we're men. Men need an erection to satisfy their spouse or their partner, for God's sakes. And you can't do that with a flat tire. This is what Neutronics Labs is all about, guys. Come on. Let's be real.
Steve,
I just changed the game. I could trade my wife in for 3 21-year-olds. I'm even.
where I lost my my tire, so to speak, was when you brought up Qatar when we were talking about domestic policies.
Yeah,
that wasn't fair.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say about international grading.
Well, let's talk about that, because now we are going to grade. Okay, see, so this is the thing. We graded on the domestic, so now let's grade on international, including Iran. I personally think that we need to go in there and send special forces to remove those Ayatollahs, because they will never negotiate. They will never keep their word. And if we allow them to get further down a road of nuclear capacity, they're going to use it. That's just my opinion. Guy, I'm going to go with you because you fought in Lebanon, and no one knows better than you dealing with these people and how radical the ideology is.
So this happens every single time. Now, this has happened about 3 times since the revolution, i.e. since 1975. And what happens is there is an uprising. What the mullahs do, they have this technique down where they let them let off a little steam. They take note of who they are all over the country. And then one day they decide they're going to just clamp down. They clamp down, they throw them in jail, they hang them without any trials or anything every single time.
Wow.
And when this happened under Obama, his silence was deafening, in my opinion, because that could have shifted. What people don't understand about the United States is that every person in the world is listening and watching what we say and what we do. When Marco Rubio or JD Vance say we are with the Iranian people, every single person on that street has just gotten 10 times more comfortable and more courageous. So anything we say, much less, Steve, what we do. So this time, the president has said, if they start killing people, we're going to interfere. And you know what? I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I think the number now is 10,000. They're doing the same play that I mentioned before, which is they took all the names, they're shooting everybody. This is the 10,000 right now. So if the president is serious about what he was saying, we've got to do something.
And this is who the left defends. And the left defends that lunacy.
But you have a lot of people out there that are terrified about getting involved in a war.
Yeah.
This is what's scary. I mean, they don't realize that the importance of having a say-so here. Iran is run bad, and they're an enemy. They're not our friend. And I got to be honest, going back to what you were saying about Qatar, I'm not pleased at all. Qatar's money is poisoning and is helping the anti-Semitism in the United States.
Yeah. So
that's a fact, by the way.
So that's a stupid decision on the administration's part to literally put a military base on our own military base here in America for Qatar. That's just dumb.
I wouldn't do it. You're letting the coyote into the house, the chicken coop.
It makes no sense. I know people say keep your enemies closer and all that, and that's kind of a cute little thing we say. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, you don't want your enemies closer to these people. These people are radical.
We're going to sound conspiracy theorist here, but what the heck? The problem with Qatar, you guys, is that they buy their way into people's graces. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to say who and what and where. I'll tell you what would happen if I was
Carlson and Candace Owens, buddy.
If I was if I was the envoy to the Middle East, Qatar's going to say, "Here's $1 billion check, Guinora. Go ahead and start a venture capital fund." I'm going to say, after I finish my job and after this administration gets what they want, please, you can invest in my fund. But right now, I'm not raising a fund. Right now, I'm trying to fix the Middle East. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
that's the difference. Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money. That's Qatar. Universities, they've bought every university in the United States. They've bought every think tank in the United States. They give money to every hedge fund that's going to be involved with anybody in government. That's what they do. It's brilliant. They have the best PR firms in the world. They've made this thug in Syria look like he's actually like a statesman.
So we're doomed. So we're doomed. I mean, because let's be real. President Trump's not going to be in office forever. And look, as much as I like JD Vance, as much as I like Marco Rubio, come on, guys, now we got to be intellectually honest. These guys do not have the same energy, boldness that President Trump has. They just don't. I'm sorry. Maybe they will.
I don't know if I agree with you there. I'll tell you this. I mean, I think JD Vance has a much better military background than Trump, but I have to sit here and say that with Guy and I agree on this one. It's interesting because I didn't realize just how deep Qatar's roots were getting. But the one thing about the United States that has me very alarmed, over the last 16, 20 years, we're allowing the enemy into our barns. For example, you have Chinese nationals buying golf courses near Air Force bases, etc. You and I, you could not buy in China. You could not buy land in our enemies' countries, but we're allowing them into our back door. We're allowing them to buy up farms in the United States. I'm totally against that. That should never happen. That's how you put us in a very unique situation for takeover, in my opinion. They can control too much. Just like I've always said before, we should just shut China off. We shouldn't buy the drugs from them at all. They're the enemy. We should manufacture those drugs in the United States. Yeah. I don't see why we're not doing that.
Yeah,
we have all the compounds.
Okay, so what's the grade, guys?
Well, if we go back,
because Trump, look, Trump is the president. His administration's in place. So when we give him a grade, foreign policy wise, we've got to be fair because he's got the Iran issue, he's got Ukraine and Russia, he's got Israel that he's dealing with, Qatar issues. So we've got to be fair with the grade across the board.
I don't know if I can give a grade because there's so many things happening all over, right? I'm good, B+, A- Venezuela. I would have rather we have elections and a democratically elected regime, which is not going to be Maduro's vice president. But okay, so A- here. Syria, Lebanon, C-, in my opinion. Israel, B+. I think we still put some Hamas. We're still kind of controlling the Israelis more than I would like. They should Hamas is not gone yet. Okay, all this talk about put up your arms and so on, they're still right there.
Still there.
That's not an A by any means.
Yeah.
And then Iran, we're going to see. I'm not sure I want boots on the ground. I agree with you, Pat. And no Americans want boots on the ground, except if it's like a quick operation like the Venezuela and
like a special ops type thing. Go in there.
CIA. Yeah.
Correct.
But let's see. I think the regime has to change. Pat, to your point about China, who's the axis? It's China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Venezuela. Well, Venezuela's down. We've got to bring Iran down. That's 2 down out of 5. Russia on its own is stuck in this war. They can't. This war has lasted longer than World War I, than World War II already. He thought he was going to get it done in 3 days, and Biden was sending an airplane for Zelensky to come over and hang out in New York. Yeah. That's like 3 days later. So then it's just China. And to your point, China is going to be one thing at a time. Look, they play for the long ball, and we just got to one at a time. But slowly but surely, we're clipping their wings everywhere they go. And people could keep saying, "Oh, they're going to go after Taiwan because we did this in Venezuela." Okay.
No. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Guy, I give him an A+ for Venezuela. When you start to look at the petrodollar and you start to look at the things that have really happened there, yes, he went in there over the drugs. That's the top. That's the first layer. The second layer is definitely the oil. By taking control of Venezuela, because what they were trying to do in Venezuela is trade in the yuan. They were trying to break the dollar. Yeah. That would have killed our economy. So I give him an A+ for this because what he did there is he's got control of the oil there. He's got control of the drugs there. He neutralizes China, making their yuan stronger than our dollar. He also hurts Cuba. Cuba's going to have to figure to come to the plate, an enemy of the United States somewhat. Russia, it's kicking them in the ass. He's kicking Iran in the ass with the oil production there, as well as Hamas. So Venezuela strategically was a brilliant move. It's a great strategy that the average American doesn't have common sense to realize that to the Monroe Doctrine, that was a tremendous strategic move, as Greenland will be, but not on an invasion. We have to work a deal out with the Danes. As far as Qatar and the Middle East, I give them a C. I'm not going to give him a C- or a C+. I'll give him a C, but I give him an A+ on Venezuela. I think it was brilliant. It was an absolutely brilliant move. The deal with Russia, I don't see I'm not happy at all with that right now.
I take the A+ to an A because the Maduro regime is still in place. The
Okay, so an A
place.
for now, with the potential to get to 100%. Is that fair?
Yes.
I'll give you that.
You said strategically, you're 100% right. We're gonna,
Donald Trump, how you doing?
I don't know, to be honest.
See, he doesn't even know.
That wasn't a good response. I wish you would have said something different.
He's like, screw you guys.
Was that not great? That was perfect timing.
Guys, I'm going to kind of, play devil's advocate here, but I'm going to be fair. I think across the board as an average, I have to do a B across the board because I'm looking at, which I think it was executed perfectly in terms of getting Maduro out of there. I am concerned that his vice president's now in charge. We'll see how things play out, but I think a B across the board because we got to deal with Hamas. We got to deal with Iran. Russia and Ukraine, that has to be dealt with. I'm a supporter of Israel. Biblically, I'm supposed to support Israel. I don't always support their government because they're just human beings like our government. So sometimes Bibi Netanyahu, I think, speaks out of turn. But in terms of Israel as a country, the people, I want what's best for them. It's very clear biblically. We bless Israel. God blesses us. And I just stand by that doctrine. But I think, when Trump makes this decision with Cuba, possibly Colombia, we see what happens.
About Colombia.
Yeah, if we see what happens with Iran, I think my B can pretty much become an A+ because I don't think there's been a president since Reagan that has been effective with foreign policy as Donald Trump, to be quite honest with you. I think he understands it. He's willing to deal with these people because sometimes you have to deal with these people with blunt force. Sadly, it's true. And Guy, you know that better than anybody. They just don't listen. They've been fighting for thousands of years, beating the hell out of each other. And so sometimes you have to fight to win, or everything's just conversation.
The only language they understand is power.
Yeah.
And I think this president and his administration are not scared of using their power. Unlike the previous administration, where they were timid about their power, and that's why all this.
Oh yeah.
That's why the whole world,
But have you noticed though, because of what we allowed into this country, the 12 million refugees illegally, and you allow the Somalians to do what they're doing in this country, and they're getting paid between $1,500 and $2,000 a week to be these rioters and these protesters.
Yeah.
They're trying to break down the very infrastructure of this nation. And this is why I said earlier, we need to stand up and slap them right back. Like I'll make a comment on the show. If I were running things with ICE and those protesters were attacking the hotel, I would have let them in and I would have just shoot on sight. That would have been me. Because as soon as we start taking some of these idiots out, maybe they'll start taking 2 steps back. We can't screw around with them anymore. But that's really, that's also a cause and effect of the Venezuela in our country. Yeah. And that's what we have to stand up and fight against.
Look, the ICE thing, I've had some people very upset with me, people that I know privately, very upset with me, texting me, saying I'm way off on the ICE thing, that, that he shouldn't have reacted as he did, that she wasn't going to try to charge at him. And I've had these arguments. And even with the radio show, I've had most people, I think, agree with me. Some have not. Look, here's at the end of the day, you've seen the video footage now from another angle where she absolutely, maybe her intent wasn't to run him over, but nevertheless, that vehicle went straight towards him. And if I was an ICE agent and that's happening, I'm going to think about getting home to my wife and kids. I'm going to draw my weapon and I'm going to defend myself. And that's what he did. So I have to support that. Some people say, Steve, you just support law enforcement no matter what. That's not true. But I think common sense is common sense here. And they were agitators. I mean, look, I didn't want Robin Good to die. Nobody wants anybody to die. Let's be real.
She didn't belong there.
She didn't belong there. And then her partner, that real butch, she could be the next Bronny on the paper towels. Hey, man. You're
gonna put cigarettes out on children's arms. Okay.
Yeah, drive, baby, drive.
Yeah. Hey, dude, come on. Gonna have lunch, dude. Come on. And I'm thinking these people just agitate and they're looking for trouble. And trouble found Robin Good, sadly.
They're making the kind of money they're getting paid. She was in Canada. She left the United States. Why did you come back? And all I'm going to sit there and say is this. that officer was already dragged in a car earlier in the year.
Yeah,
we
right.
know worldwide that automobiles have become weapons of destruction. Without guns, they're using automobiles.
Absolutely.
Okay? When a police officer or ICE agent tells you to stop, you stop.
Yeah.
You don't want to get out of the car. What she did was absolutely wrong. And then she almost ran the guy over. And I know everybody's going to try to say, well, you look at it this way. I look at no. You're told to stop and get out of the car. Yeah. If that was a police officer who was pulling over a driver, and that driver doesn't pull over and it takes off, they're going after that person, and there's going to be other cars coming and getting involved. And there's a chance that you're going to get shot because you're stupid. I'm sorry. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Your responsibility with your kids, get the hell home and take care of your kids. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. No, you're right. I agree with you.
I don't want to give this person any airtime. Patrick, here's my problem with what you said, let him in and shoot him. We got what I call the soft middle in this country. And Steve, you know who I'm talking about, right? The soft middle. These are the guys that call you up. Oh, no, we can't do this. Oh, my gosh. that's not America. If we lose the soft middle, we're in trouble.
That's true.
So somehow we have to show strength as we handle the soft middle. And the soft middle is what they are. They're about 30% of the population, and they get so hurt when something doesn't work out because everybody's got to get a trophy.
Very true.
That's the problem. We've got to manage this. So if I was in this administration, every single day I'd be communicating. Every single day. Today we caught 22 rapists.
Right.
With all the noise that you're hearing and all these people that are blowing whistles in our ear, today we caught 16 people that crossed this border and we're going to do a terrorism attack. Here are their names. Every single day.
Messaging like that I agree with, but I have to tell you, the soft middle means they're more to the left than they are to the center, and that's a problem. And I'm sorry, but I don't give this person airtime, but I do. The air and oxygen, like you said, I agree with you. But let me say, I say this with all sincerity. This was coming. Sooner or later, it's coming. You start seeing these jackasses jumping on the cars. Sooner or later, people are going to get hurt. And I'm sorry, but I'm fighting for ICE. I think that their job is. These idiots want to take their masks off. They want to give up their phone numbers and where they live. I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's a miracle that more hasn't happened, and I thank God. I thank God. And you know something? The Greg, is it his name Bongino or Bongino?
Yeah,
Greg,
Bongino.
Bongino. Yeah.
Okay. I pray for this man every day because it takes one unhinged. I mean, if they could do this to Charlie, it takes one unhinged guy, or one unhinged woman, or one unhinged whatever they are. I'm constantly praying for this man because he's going down. One thing I learned, Steve, when I was and Patrick, when I was in the war, was like the commanders that you respect the most are the ones that go on all the missions with you. They're not the ones that send you to a mission down the street to release a hostage or go work and attack a position. They're the ones that go with you. They're the ones that lead you. And this man is there every single day, and I pray for him every single day.
Yeah, we're definitely in some unprecedented times. I guess where I'm at, and I'm concerned. I talked about this on my radio show earlier today. Is we're in a midterm election. I am not as optimistic, Pat, as you are regarding the Supreme Court and tariffs. They've disappointed me in the past, and I hope they don't disappoint me this time. There is a real effort to remove Trump because he can't be controlled. J.D. Vance could be controlled more readily than Trump. I believe that, even though he's a good man and he's got a great story. Washington is Washington, establishment is establishment. So Trump is being so effective, even though we're giving some grades and some things that we don't like. Overall, he's being so effective and shaking the foundations that they have to do something so monumental to stop him. And this is why I think this year, as we're getting ready to be in the midterms in just 9-10 months, we better be careful because these people have the one shot to take it all over. And if they do, Trump's impeached, and mark my words, not only is he impeached, he'll be the first president in the history of the country to be removed, because they will remove him this time because these people are lunatics. They're lunatics.
I tell you right now, if the Supreme Court were to vote against the tariffs, which I don't think they can, to be irresponsible, if they were to do that, the administration would go down the tank, would be down the tubes. The country would be so screwed. and we probably could go. It would be a total tidal wave of we could go into a major depression.
Exactly.
So the way I always run these things is like, if I was there, what would I do? Right. So if I'm Scott Bessent and the Commerce Department, I have a backup plan right now if the tariff thing gets stopped by the Supreme Court. I don't know what the backup plan is, but I have a backup plan.
Well, they already said they had a backup plan, but still, it's unfathomable. I can't imagine the Supreme Court would be this crazy. Although I do see it being a 5-4, and I agree we should stack the damn court.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Democrats are going to do it.
Yeah, they're going to do it. So you're right. The court's going to get stacked eventually. We either do it or they're going to do it eventually. That is a fact. I mean, it's an undeniable fact. So, okay. So guys, what do you think? Trump, 1 year in a week, he's going to be addressing, not on that date, obviously, but the State of the Union is going to be coming up. Do you see the Democrats standing and clapping for anything he says? Or
Never.
is it going to be pretty much the same? Yeah.
You've got a better chance of hitting the mega bucks twice.
That's very true.
Unfortunately, I agree. I agree with Patrick. Even if the Iran regime has fallen by then, they're not going to give him credit.
They don't want to. They will never give him the Nobel Peace Prize.
No.
That is something they'll never relinquish, and you can see they're controlling that as well, because the chick from Venezuela wanted to. I mean, it's a joke. Trump has done nothing but create peace in most of the world, except for right now with Russia and Ukraine. I mean, this guy deserves that award. They gave it to Obama for doing nothing, for being black.
For being black.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Yeah, the Trump derangement syndrome's real, guys. And there's no vaccine for it, so it's what it is. It's getting worse, and it's a major epidemic that these people suffer. But
I mean, if you think, Steve, if you think about the hills that they die on, right? The Democrats,
yeah.
Trent Aragua, that's the hill they want to die on. Illegal immigration, another hill they want to die on. Against Venezuelan people being free, that's the hill they want to die on. And now you're hearing some muttering about Iran.
Yeah.
It's like, these are the hills you guys want to die.
And they want to die. And they want to die on the graft of Minnesota.
Yeah.
These trillions of dollars that are being spent in our country. They want to fall back. They believe in.
These women in Iran are burning their hijabs. Yes. I mean, they're the 19th century prison that they've been wearing, where you just see their eyeballs like this. That's it. They're burning them. They're putting their go-go boots on. I mean, literally, these people need freedom. Then there's this is what makes me laugh about these radicals here. Go do that crap in Iran and you're dead. I mean, give me
Be gay in Iran. See how far that gets you.
Oh, yeah, you'll get thrown off a building.
Or in Gaza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'll get a strip, all right. Right in the back of your head. Bada bing.
Yeah, it's insane. All right, guys, we're going to wrap her up, man. It's always cool to sit down and solve the world's problems. Maybe we all three should be in charge. I think we would all have the shortest political histories in the history of the world, because we just make too much sense.
But the most efficacious, that's all I care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
One question.
Results.
Ready? Yeah. Mr. President Trump, how did we do?
You never know, but I think so.
That was weak. We got to better ask that one more time.
I have no idea.
All right,
wait, one more.
I think so.
That second one sounds like producer Nate.
Yeah. I got producer Nate in the other booth over here just laughing.
Wait till I see you next week. I have a Bible with Trump doing the translation, the Bible stories. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, this is how we'll do it. We'll see. We'll do this. We'll say, President Trump, did we do good? Yeah.
I like it.
We did great. We did great. All right, guys, always a pleasure, man. So if you want to follow us, we've got some individual stuff that we do too. You can catch us all on the socials. We've got our social media platforms. Of course, you can go to the stevesanchezshow.com for me. All the links are on the bottom. You can go see Guy Nohra Official on all the social, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And Patrick Casale, is it The Real Patrick Casale on Instagram and TikTok as well? And he has no filter. He drops F-bombs like he's still in Jersey over there picking horses.
I believe in fornication under the consent of the king all day long.
I'll have to ask you about this next time.
Guys, always a pleasure. Look forward to next week.
God bless you all.